Welcome back to the Lost Artistry Lash channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to recreate this set right here. It's one of my most sought after mappings that suits almost every client. Let's get into it. I want to start by saying that this set may look a little advanced, but I can assure you that it's super easy to recreate. All it comes down to is lashing with strategy. So I'm going to break this video down into 3 different sections so it's easy to digest and understand. First, we'll cover pre-planning and assessment, how to execute our strategy, and the products that I'm using. So let's start off with our pre-planning. Here we have a photo of Leah's eye. Fun fact, Leah is our customer service queen. She is based in Toronto, Canada, but is visiting us here in Victoria, BC. So I have the pleasure of doing her lashes today. And during our consultation, she said that she prefers a volume lash set with some texture, a dark lash line, open eye shape, and lengths that aren't too long and aren't too short. So let's keep that in mind as we assess some of her features. Judging by this photo, it looks like Leah has an almond eye shape. This eye shape suits pretty much any style, so an open eye map will look great on her. Our emphasis area, meaning the largest section of the set, will go right here in the middle. We don't want to make our section too small, otherwise our set will come to a point like this, which we don't want. We want it to look more like a sunset shape. By the way, I always dot my emphasis area at the beginning of every set because check this out. This is Leah's eyes after she closed them, and look how close that dot is to her inner corner. There is no way I would have thought that that was the middle of her eye. So it's really important to map with the eyes open for every set. If you'd like a more in-depth tutorial on this, just go ahead and comment below and we'll send it to you. Now let's move on to her lash layers. I can see that Leah has upwards of 4 to 5 layers, which is perfect and super ideal for someone who wants a dark lash line because the more lashes that overlap each other, the easier it is to achieve darkness. I can also see that her layers are tightly compact together. From this angle, I don't see any gaps or sparse areas, so there's no need to correct the lash line here. I always like to take note of this because it really helps determine which fan types I'd like to use for the set. So for example, if her lashes looked more sparse like this, and she wanted a dark lash line, I would consider using short stem / open fans as they cover more surface area. But because her lashes all look tightly compact together, she's a great candidate for narrow fans to really pack in that darkness. Now, taking a look at her natural lash lift, her lashes are pretty straight for the most part, and she does want her set to be noticeable, so I'm gonna use a CC curl on her, but let's take a quick look at her outer corners here. They are a little bit downturned, so if I wanted to bump up a curl here, I could. However, since we are doing an open eye map and I'll be bumping my lengths down in this section, I don't feel the need to change my curl. But if we were doing, say, a cat eye shape, then I would consider bumping up a curl to keep that area looking as lifted as possible. So to conclude, I'm going to be using CC curl for the entire set, but it's definitely worth noting those downturned outer corner lashes. Now that we've gone ahead and assessed all of her features, let's actually create the lash map. Determining lengths can be tricky because they look different on everyone, and that's because every client has different lash lifts, brow spacing, certain lash extension curls look longer than others. There's just so many factors that make lengths look different on every client, which isn't ideal when it comes to pre-planning a set. But what if I told you that there is a way you will know exactly what lengths and curls will suit your client perfectly without having to find out at the end of the service when your client opens their eyes? I have a hack that I've been using for years and it has truly saved me so many times, but it can only be done in person with your client. So what you'll do is you will choose the lengths and curls that will suit your client best. For Leah, I've already determined that CC curl would likely be the best option, and she mentioned that she didn't want her lengths to look too short or too long, so something that's proportionate to her brow spacing. My best guess would be a 12mm as the longest and 8mm as the shortest. When Leah comes in, what I'll do is I'll lash roughly 5 to 10 natural lashes on each eye on the top layer. It has to be the top layer because it sits highest up on the eyelid, which means these lashes will look the longest in our set. Also making sure that I spread out those 5 to 10 lashes from inner to outer corner so I can cover all of my sections. Then I will blow the lashes dry, remove the eye pads, and ask her to open her eyes. From here, I'll assess the lengths and curls. If the lashes look too long, then I can easily remove the couple lashes that I've applied without wasting too much time. If the lashes are too short, you can easily bump your lengths up for the rest of that top layer, easy peasy. Sometimes I like to hand my client a mirror as well and get their input and ask, what do you think of the length? Do you want it shorter, longer, or are you happy with how it looks? Clients love this because they feel a little more in control of the outcome of the set. I also like to assess the curl. If the lashes look super lifted and almost curl back into the crease, then I may consider bumping down a curl. If the lashes appear kind of droopy and not very noticeable, then I will bump up my curl. Trust me when I say I have saved so many of my sets from doing this technique. And if you have to make changes, don't see it as a waste of time. Your client will recognize that you're putting extra time and effort into giving them the perfect set, and they will appreciate that so much. It will also give you the confidence you need to get through that lash set rather than questioning if you chose the right lengths, curls, and shaping and waiting until the end to find out. And personally speaking, when I'm lacking confidence, I actually lash slower because I'm questioning everything. So by visually seeing a rough idea of how my set will turn out, it eases my mind and I can actually lash faster. All right, going back to actually planning our set. Right now, as I mentioned, I do think that 12mm will be our longest and CC curl will be the most suitable. So we're gonna go with that for right now. Then we're going to bump all the way down to an 8mm on the inner corners and a 9mm on the outer corners. By the way, I'll add all of the mapping details at the very end for you to screenshot and refer to. So these will be our top layer lengths, which will be all 100% wet lash fans. If you don't know how to create wet lashes, I highly recommend taking our advanced texture course. It will teach you how to create wet lashes as well as other fan types and just covers everything there is to know about styling as a whole. In fact, here's the last lash set I did on Leah in 2021. She had the exact same requests, open eye map, dark lash line, and texture. We love a consistent queen. And look at how big of a difference there is between these sets. You can clearly see that one was created with strategy, and the other one, I hate to say it, was winging it. Everything I've learned as a lash artist from then until now is in the advanced texture course. So if you're serious about leveling up your sets, I highly, highly recommend it. Okay, coming right back to the set. So wet lashes on the top layer. I don't recommend lashing 100% of the top layer. You can see that there's some spacing in between these spikes, and that's from skipping a few natural lashes in between. I did this intentionally because I wanted the tips to look light and airy, which creates a contrast between the tips and the dark lash line. This is what we call lashing with strategy, manipulating small elements in our set to really elevate the overall look and give the client exactly what they're hoping for. Now, on the topic of creating that dark lash line, we need to concentrate our darkness on the bottom layer. To do this, we need to bump our lengths down. I bumped down 2mm, which will actually look more like 4mm because the layers sit about 1mm apart from each other. For the bottom layer only, I'm going to use 100% narrow fans like I mentioned earlier, and I'll probably add a few open fans if I stumble across an area that looks a bit sparse or needs more coverage. Now, this next part is really important. We must feather our lengths for the bottom layer, meaning that we will mix multiple different lengths in each section. So if I'm in my 10mm section, I'm going to blend in some 9s, maybe a few 8s as well. The reason why this is important is because if we were to do all one length in each section, we're going to create what I like to call the brick wall, which would look a little something like this. an old lash set I did from 2020. This set is unflattering for many reasons, but you can see that the darkness carries up from the base all the way to the tips. And yes, this can still happen if we lash in layers. So to avoid that from possibly happening, we must feather multiple different lengths in each section to create a soft gradient effect. Now, at this point, you might be feeling a little overwhelmed because we have a lot of numbers in different sections, but I want to remind you that feathering does not need to be complicated. It's as simple as placing 2 different lengths side by side. So if you place a 10mm, just place an 8 or a 9 beside it. It doesn't have to be overcomplicated at all. So that's what you're going to do for the bottom layer. Personally speaking, I find it best to isolate the layers using iPads. I had some blackout iPads kicking around, so it was a great opportunity to use those since I haven't had many super blonde clients come in recently. I also love using these for clients who are light sensitive or flicker their eyes throughout the appointment, because the black pad will help cover the light, making it more comfortable for my client. So now that we have the top and bottom layer done, now all we need to do is blend these 2 layers together. And we're going to do that by following the same map on the bottom layer, but we're going to incorporate some wet lashes as well. This will tie in the top layer beautifully without taking any attention away from those spikes that we've placed. Now, it is just as important that we choose the right lash fibers for the job as it is to plan the set. The vision for this set was a full dark lash line with soft texture and airy tips, so I knew right away that our ultra dark volume lash line was the right one for the job. Reason why is because they are specifically designed to create sets like this. Each fiber has a dark base that gradually tapers off at the tips, so it really helps assist me in creating this type of look. Not only that, but they are the easiest lashes to fan ever. I'm going to be working with 0.03 for this set, so I could have the versatility of creating low and high dimension fans. My dimensions will start at 3D and go all the way up to about 15D. Also, because the fibers are so fine at the tips, it actually cuts the weight in half, so I almost never have to worry about these lashes being too heavy on my client. Also, if you are a pre-made fan volume artist, you can still recreate this look. You'll want to use our ultra dark long stem pre-made fans for the bottom layer and our angel lash pre-made spikes for the top layer. Of course, it may look a little bit different, but just know that you can still recreate this style using those 2 trays. And there you have it. That is my full breakdown on this set and how you can perfectly execute it on any client. But if I'm missing anything or if you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out in the comments below or DM us. We're always here to help. My name is Anna. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know if you'd like to see more mapping breakdowns just like this one. See you on the next one. Bye.